So today is our first day back on trail in Colorado. So we went to Canada and went to the convention, stayed with Linda and Gary Green. It was a good time, but I'm glad to be back on trail, back in the mountains. Some pretty spectacular scenery. You probably can't see it on the camera through the trees because it just won't focus, but certainly good to be back moving. Hopefully when we get up on the tops in the next few days I'll be able to get some more spectacular scenery, but for now it's just walking some rather nice trails, which suits me for first day back, because in Canada we were at a height of about 500 metres and straight away we're about 2,200 metres here, so the lungs have got to readjust. Good morning everyone. Day 2 on the Colorado Trail, heading back to the Continental Divide. Had a very nice campsite last night and we've awoken to clouds in the valleys, which is pretty beautiful. Got 7 kilometres till we get down to the road. We've got toilets and then off into the wilderness again. So far, absolutely loving the Colorado Trail. It's just beautiful. Day 3 out of Denver on the Colorado Trail, heading back to the Continental Divide Trail. The track is pretty amazing. Landscape's beautiful. And here comes the beautiful Miss Helen. That's day 3 out of Denver. We've had dinner. Now we're wandering up this valley. All morning we were climbing. We dropped down to this valley, had dinner, and now I think we head up this way, which is actually slightly northwest for about 9-10 kilometres. Hopefully we'll be in Breckenridge in a couple of days and we'll rejoin the CDT, but it doesn't feel like we're that high, but we're over 3,000 metres. There's still plenty of plants and trees and stuff, so we won't be above Alpine until we probably at about 3,800 metres, which is pretty massive. Yeah, I don't know how these trees manage to grow up so high, but they do.
This isn't probably coming up in the camera at all, but just over there, there's a big group of moose, and then straight over here, there's a mother with her calf, which is cool. So these are the first moose we've actually seen out in the wilderness. We saw 2 up in Saskatchewan. It was cool. They were like 2 massive bulls, but they were in the middle of a wheat field, so this is a cool way to start the day. There's not quite enough light, and they are probably 600-700 metres away, but I can count at least 4 or 5 over there and then 2 over here, so we've got about 7 moose. It was a very cool way to start the day, and this is where we spent the night in our tent, right next to the trail. Sometimes you've got to do these things when you wake up in them, when you get to the end of the day and it's just too much to go on. But when you wake up, you're straight on trail, so it's cool.
With day 4 out of Denver. Today we're going into a town called Jefferson. That's pretty cool. This morning we woke up to probably 6 or 7 moose within a couple hundred yards or metres of our tent. And then as we were coming down the hill, so we're just coming out to a trailhead, as we've come down the hill, there's been a large herd of elk, so that was pretty cool too. So about 20 to get into town, and then we'll grab a little bit of food, maybe get a hot coffee or something, and then be on our way to Breckenridge. And tomorrow, the next day, we'll be rejoining the CDT. So excellent.
Jefferson wasn't even a real town. It had 2 cafes, and if you were travelling through and blinked, you'd miss it. We did, however, enjoy excellent burgers and fudge at one of the cafes. When we came out, we found the weather had changed and it was obvious that a storm was brewing. We checked the weather and we found that where we were heading was going to be hit by early season snow. Not having our snow gear, we opted to head towards the town of Fairplay and then figure out our own route south, at least until the snow melted and we could safely head back into the mountains. In Fairplay we stayed at an Airbnb, and we were thankful for it as the snow came in hard and the temperature plummeted. The next day we took a break and waited for the weather to improve. We did a small resupply but spent most of the day at the local South Park Museum. Like South Pass, this was a restoration of the historical town. The folks running it were really lovely and it was extremely interesting. The next day we woke to clear blue skies and it was time to get our legs moving. Our route towards Salida will be primarily on dirt roads as we avoided the snow. This was a real kick in the guts. I hate road walking and I lost all my motivation to get any footage. But on the upside, at least we were safe and still heading south.
So we've come down now to the snow. Now we're road walking to avoid it. It's quite nice here, but you can see all the peaks in the distance, all snowed up. Rather beautiful down here now. Started out, it's about 0 degrees, about 9 degrees now, but it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. So we're not in the mountains, because I don't have hypothermia and we're safe, so well worth coming this way. Pretty amazing views. That's where we're meant to be, up in there, and that's where we will be heading up into tomorrow. So, but for now, we're heading down to Salida to resupply and just make sure we've got all our ducks in a row. But yeah, very beautiful country. It's been brutal walking on the roads, but now the snow's starting to all melt, we'll be good again.